Oh.
Just push the button.
Oh.
Push the button.
Oh, yeah.
Tilt it forward. There you go.
Oh, my goodness. You're so smart.
You've had that since the day we bought it.
I know. It's like, it's one more thing to learn. One more thing. Hi, we're Mark and Mel. After raising 4 amazing daughters who are now raising our 12 grandchildren and helping people on land in the real estate business for over 30 years, we're now realizing our goal of a year-long adventure cruising America's Great Loop on our boat Paradise. This is a 6,000-mile journey through waterways that include the Atlantic and Gulf intercoastal waterways, Great Lakes, Canadian heritage canals, and inland rivers of America's Midwest cities. Join us as we navigate over 100 locks, explore cities large and small, and experience an unforgettable journey through America's Great Loop. So, there we go. Level. So we are anchored out at Cape Girardeau, Missouri. So it's
town of Rushlandbaugh.
Yeah. And did you know that Ulysses Grant used to stay up there? There's one of the oldest towns along the river is Cape Girardeau. And I just found that out about reading. So lots of people would stop there on their travels on the Mississippi because there's nothing else. There's a lot of trees, a lot of swampland, it's this huge muddy river. But it's powerful, super powerful. And you know, so we have seen even marinas back up at Henry City, where we stayed like the third leg, and that little marina was under, like 10 feet of water at one time. So I'm sure lots of marinas, this place changes with the environment, and places come and places go, and bless their heart, this new couple, this family's getting that going, and this is Cape Girardeau. So we're anchored out because there's not a lot out here. So everybody's anchored. We found a place that's got 10 to 20 feet, I think, over here in a little outcrop away from the channel traffic, because we didn't want to be in the way of barges last night. But it was raining all day. Mark drove in the rain, and a lot of rain, and it was foggy, so he had to really take his time. I took the binoculars every once in a while and looked for logs in the water until it cleared up. And then I was able to come down and get a lot of work done. So I uploaded a video and did some other things. Now we've planned the trip from here to our next Anchorage, because a lot of boats that were behind us, there were some in front of us, they stayed someplace else. But this worked really well because the river draft, the current, really straightened us out and grabbed the anchor good. And it rained a lot, but we just kind of stayed right there all night. We had the anchor alarm on. We didn't go anywhere, and we hadn't moved for 5 hours, so we felt really comfortable sleeping. Everybody that came up behind us asked if they could anchor around us. One person did their first anchor for the first time, so that was neat because we all encouraged him this morning. He did such a good job. It's nice to have all these people together, not too close enough that we are safe. And now we're getting ready to go again, and we'll anchor out probably at Olmsted. I don't know the history there yet, but I'll look it up. And then from Olmsted, which will take us about 6 to 7 hours, depending on how fast we go, because we have to go a good long time, and there's a lot of bends in the river at this point. But I can't wait to tell you where we get to go after the next anchor out night, because I'm looking forward to that. So watch and see how we do, and if you have any questions or comments or want to know anything about this area, please let us know. We're just trying to give as much information as possible, but like I said, it was rainy and really hard to see through this area all yesterday. But So.
Well, we are now going upstream on the Ohio River, so we are bucking the current of this river instead of going downstream like we did on the Mississippi. And as a result, at the 1300 RPM, 1250 to 1300 RPM that we've got there, that we were doing on the Mississippi, we got 10 knots speed out of it. But here on the Ohio, we're getting a whopping 6.4 knots. So it's a short trip up this Ohio River to our destination for the night, which is only 15 or 20 miles, and it's going to take us a while.
This is Summer Fling. Yeah, that Bean Creek, Anchorage looks fine. We're not going to have much wind to contend with tonight. It's going to be coming from the north with those cold temperatures.
Yeah, no matter where we are, huh? It's going to be cold winds tonight.
So that's a couple of hours after the lock.
It's 11 miles, so, yeah, it's going to be an hour and a half at least.
Yeah, about an hour and a half at least.
Mona's looking up the mile marker.
We have the mile marker.
I could be in Ranch Creek, and it showed right at 11 miles.
Yes, it is cold. It is chilly.
It's 9535 is the mile marker.
It would be better, don't you think, to get past Olmsted, get that much closer so that we can make it to Green Turtle tomorrow? Yeah.
Well, especially getting through the lock, because that could be an hour, hour and a half right there just locking.
Exactly. That's what Louise is saying.
Well, it's about 7:15 in the morning, and we just left our anchorage at Bean Branch Creek on the Ohio River, not too far from our turnoff onto the Tennessee River. And it was a very cold and very rocky, rolling anchorage. And it was not the most pleasant night ever. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a boat just ahead of us with, you can see his anchor lights still on. That is our traveling companion this morning, Pat and Cindy on the Sunshine. And since we drive from behind wet isinglass to stay warm, they are kind of our lead boat, keeping us safe and in the channel. And we're going upriver. So we're going against the current. We're doing 8.4 miles per hour and 7.4 knots, which is exactly what we expected. And our destination down there in the lower right corner
so rocky and windy last night. We were anchored out at Bean Branch Creek. Across from this plant, it was like a concrete plant, that's right. But there was only a few anchorages that would work really well with all this wind. It was pretty, we were in anywhere from like 7 to 10 feet, but you could go to 12, 16, and the people that were with us, 3 other loopers, decided to stick with us instead of anchoring at the Olmsted Lock and Dam. So last night was really windy, so the anchor alarm kept going off. So we had it on pretty tight radius, so I put it out a little bit more and a little bit more to allow for a little bit of radius that we could go in the wind, because the wind was so strong it was pushing us against the current. So we could have anchored out. We were talking with the other loopers, and we all could have probably situated our anchor a little better to allow for so much wind. It was so windy. It was like 10 knots and then or 10 miles per hour winds, and then it would go up to like 25 mile an hour gusts, and it got even worse in the middle of the night. So we were up at like 3 in the morning just trying to figure out what to do. So it was raining, so we didn't want to go out and mess with it, but we just pretty much stayed up on and off and slept, and we tried. It didn't go off again, so that was good. And we were far enough from shore that we didn't have to worry about going into the shore. But that would have been a better thing than if we had drifted out in the middle of the channel. So it was okay. And so now we are all up, 7 o'clock, sunrise. It's cloudy, not really raining, just a little drizzle. And it's supposed to get sunny, and the wind's supposed to stop being so strong, blowing this chill, because it's in the 30s it got down to this morning. So I'm like dressed for snow. But we're heading south eventually. We're headed now we have the chance to either take, at Paducah we have to decide to take the Cumberland River or the Tennessee River. It looks like there's a lot of barges on the Tennessee River, so we don't want to wait for that lock to get through that lock and dam. So we're probably going to just go ahead and stick on the Cumberland to get down to Green Turtle Bay, to get down to the marina that we can dock at and have electricity and provision. And this marina actually, I heard, has a spa. So I mean, after this few days of anchoring out and being in the rain, soaked to the bone, I'm kind of ready for a spa. So we'll let you know how that goes.
I said, good job, Aqua Map.
Thank you, Captain.
This is my hat.
Yes.
It says Captain.
There can only be one captain.
Cumberland River, just about an hour away from Barkley Lock, to let us down into, or should I say, raise us up 57 feet into Lake Barkley. And it is just become mostly sunny, a lot of scattered clouds, still cold, only 44 degrees, but it was actually getting warm with all the isinglass closed inside the helm here, so we opened up the two front flaps, give us a little better visibility and make it just absolutely super comfortable in here. Beautiful day.